This is Revic 4, the most lethally unstable compound ever invented. Its staggering power was thought to be eternally wild and unpredictable. On December 12th of last year, Dr. Gavin Lowell revealed human-controlled Revic 4 to the world. The world in this case being representatives of various governmental interests and multinational corporate entities. Guided by his friend Mel Gallagher, his lawyer and trusted business partner for 10 years, Gavin ultimately sells to a private American security corporation. The final sale price makes all those involved billionaires overnight. Performance remains the most human thing we can do. Assuming a role that is in direct conflict with who we actually are is an activity we undertake every day of our lives. However, there always will be consequences to this confusion of individualism and the aura of personality. And that, above all others, will be the final legacy and ultimate tragedy of man.
And so your position will always be, what do you as creator retain?
It's valid.
Yes, but not one to bring up.
There are concerns.
Ah, the ever-doting parent.
10 years.
No one is disparaging your...
It was life. My life.
Your...
My life.
Yes, and it still is. And that's what you retain.
This debate between these two is going into its second decade.
Boys, the check is cashed. I think we're allowed to talk about something else now.
Pick a topic.
Tennis.
You play?
I've always wanted to learn, but I was always in the lab.
Darling, you'd throw out your back.
My back? I find the game fascinating.
You never mentioned...
I'm mentioning tennis.
Mel has a serve that kills. Just kills.
We have dominated the over 40 set in our subdivision, haven't we, dear?
But it's your serve that nobody can touch.
Good Lord, I didn't even know you two played. How could I have not known?
Oh, honey, they invited us a few times.
You've never mentioned anything.
See here, numerous times in the early days.
The early days?
Our first breaking ground, the old place on 12th Avenue.
The basement.
The sewer.
Some wondrous things transpired in that sewer.
No doubt, no doubt. But look here, the hard work is over.
Is it?
And no doubt, there are wondrous things to come.
Well, I, for one, would very much like to hear about this.
Darling, I think what Mel is saying is that the future is wide open for you now.
Oh yes, of course it is. You could take a vacation, take a cruise.
I've always wanted to see other parts of the world, but I was
Always in the lab. I hope this is decaf. I have a hair appointment.
I will live a little, dear.
Live a little. That's what you always tell me.
As if she'll ever have slumber issues. She's snoring before her head hits the pillow.
I do not snore.
Darling, I tidy up the plaster you bring down from the ceiling every morning before you wake.
You are awful, I swear.
Darling, coffee? Really?
That's right. You never... I can't tell you how awkward... Do you know how irritating it is? Having a buyer want to take us out for coffee or a drink, and I always had to say...
Tap water. Medium temp.
Is that all you drink?
Medium temperature tap water? That would be correct.
I die.
Quite the contrary.
I'm trying to lubricate our potential clients' pocketbooks, and this guy over here is guzzling H2O like it's going out of style.
Obviously it is. This
This coffee.
You like it, dear.
It's wonderful.
I tried to talk you into it countless times.
Among other vices.
Live a little.
Well, now that your project is signed, sealed, and delivered, perhaps that will be a possibility.
And not so fast, Mrs. Professor. Signed and sealed only.
But it's a done deal, right?
I've got a stack of documentation taller than the old boy here to prove it. There isn't a drop of ink left in any of my pens.
Well, I'm sure you can afford new ones now, darling.
I think I'm one of the last people I know who is eternally faithful to their pens. I always buy refills. I never replace the actual instruments themselves.
Gavin, what is...
Just once, I think you can leave your little toys at home, darling.
Something new, old friend?
Darling?
What is that, Gavin?
Detonator.
Simple. Even a monkey could use it.
And Steve and I could too.
I've put Revic 4 in our cuisine tonight, and that device will detonate it.
I suggest you stick to chemistry and avoid the humor because this isn't terribly funny.
As long as you've known me, Mel, have you ever known me to joke? Another aspect of life that's passed me by. I wish I could joke. I wish I had the ability to play a room, but I'm the guy in the corner, right? Isn't that right, darling?
Gavin, I don't know what's gotten into you tonight.
No, you couldn't be expected to. This is very true and very real. This is what I did. You know those scenes in movies where something big happens and it changes everyone's life forever? Those scenes exist because things like this do occur in real life. Usually, circumstances beyond our control, like a horrible car accident or a natural disaster, or so I've placed my compound in your cuisine tonight. And in a few moments when I push that button,
What will happen?
tell him, Mel. You know better than anyone here.
This is unreal. What the hell is wrong with you?
Unreal? I'm drawn to that. Isn't that the reason I exist? My job in the lab? To make the unreal real? And yes, I agree. What I'm doing is unthinkable. But how hard was it, do you suppose, for me to make the jump? Thinking the unthinkable, conceiving the inconceivable.
Take me home. I want to go.
Just stay seated. Let's just play along with Gavin. For the time being.
Why are you doing this? Have I upset you in any way?
You have been a loving wife, and I do appreciate you. I appreciate all of you.
Fine. Perfect. Wonderful. Then for God's sakes, end this idiocy and let's all get a drink, okay?
But then the movie will go on, and I mean to end the movie tonight.
What do you want?
Can't you stop him? Do something.
Gavin, something has upset you. Obviously, we're all your friends. We're all on your side. What can we do? I know what this is about. Some business. 5-6 years ago now. A meeting, a phone call, email exchanges.
Mel.
It was done without malice, though I can assure you. There was an offhand shot. A chance. Investors from distant. Chinese investors. A security entity. I don't even know if they exist any or they've been engulfed by a larger entity, but it doesn't matter. It's what I did. I stole. I tried to steal. I betrayed a trust. Your trust. So if this is about me, then let's deal with it. This is where you and I, Gavin. This is between you and I, right? Then we shouldn't involve the...
No, Mel, tell him the rest. Tell him the other thing. Because that's what this is about.
Vera.
Go ahead.
Don't.
Does it matter? Are you worried about feelings getting hurt? I would say we're beyond that.
Do as you will.
Darling, during the summer that you were abroad, Mel, he and I...
You should rephrase that. Put yourself first on the list.
You weren't a willing...
I was there.
Yes, you were. It wasn't the entire time you were away. Just a month.
22 days, as a matter of fact.
Under a month. I'm so sorry.
I've known. I was told.
Darling, if I could go back in time, I would. I would make things right. It would never have happened.
Thanks very much.
Do you have something to say?
I don't. No.
You don't know the agony carrying around.
Agony?
Darling, please don't make this harder than it has to be.
I'm quite certain that wouldn't be possible.
Quiet! We're fighting for our lives. Do you think you could keep your smart comments to yourself?
Both of you, stop it.
Besides, what if it's a bluff? What do you think of that, big guy?
She isn't innocent in this, Gavin. Let her go in peace. I can't believe you would punish somebody who has no culpability.
Not exactly a truism, Vera.
It's been 2 years. Who remembers things after so long? I guess when you're always in the lab and don't have a life. I tried to assist him. Mel told me to go and ease Gavin's loneliness.
Oh, God.
Well, I guess if he had a more attentive spouse.
Was always in the lab.
Besides, he didn't live up to his end of the bargain anyway.
What?
Oh, yeah. Mel had it all figured out. Make Gavin happy and snag the compound. Mel had it figured that Gavin had to be wired like he was, right? Only he was wrong. Gavin was better than that. Gavin was better than him. Something he never quite got over, I suspect.
You smug. You know, just go ahead. Let's do it. Hit the button. End it all. Because I'll tell you what. If my time on Earth is over, I'd rather have it be over than to spend another second in a room with you. You think 10 years was an eternity in the lab with your Bunsen burners and beakers? Well, I'll tell you what. It was a cold, dank purgatory spending it as your damn lapdog! Better than me? How could you think for a single solitary second that this fungus in a lab coat was... There is a world out there. And I've always been a part of it. A vibrant, living, breathing. And you, what are you? Your precious compound will outlive you, and you'll be nothing more than an afterthought. A punchline to a sick joke who killed innocent millions without ever leaving the lab. Hey, it's Gavin.
Stop it, Mel! Stop it!
You wanted to learn tennis? Well, here's the most important part of the game. The serve. I don't think you got the guts to do it, little man. Break point.
Live a little.